talking in general. Like, that's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of thoughts to process. I'm exhausted.
Oh yeah.
Really exhausted? Like what? Exhaustion 5 kills you, right?
Exhaustion 5 kills you, yeah.
Yeah. So I need to sleep.
Here's a good berry.
Does that?
Heals you.
It heals it's our homebrew to heal D4.
Okay.
And
1d4.
you don't have to eat.
Oh, I'm at 1 right now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if he was revived at like 1 health.
1 health.
Okay, then I would have healing spirit up.
You just see this tiny celestial wick just flutters over to you and just lands on your shoulder.
Well, do we want to go for flavor?
Do you?
Since it's
on the table.
On the table, I'll cast it at 3rd level and it turns into a raven.
Nice.
I have a table of if I cast it at each level, what it turns into.
I dig the shit out of that.
Okay.
All right, so I roll what?
It's 3d6 per
something like
1
that,
round of combat.
Yeah.
So as long as you're
out of
there,
combat, it's gonna heal you.
You're gonna get a good chunk.
Yeah.
Does it last a minute?
I believe. I have to pull it back up.
7.
Yeah. Roll those 3d6.
Yeah, it's up to a minute.
10 times. So that was 1.
It'll be 2d6 at 3rd level.
2? I thought it was 3.
It's 1d6 at 2nd level.
Oh, it's a 2nd level.
It's a
spell.
2nd level spell.
All right, so.
So but again, I have it for a minute.
Yep.
It's 1 each round, so it's 2d6 per round, so 10 times.
Same number.
Okay.
Ideally,
Right,
it could heal you. If it doesn't, I can cast it again. But you have a spectral albino raven just chilling with you.
Kind of like tweaking over. I'm like the most tired person you've ever seen in your goddamn life at this point.
Me too. I downloaded it randomly the other day.
I'm like, putting that away.
It's helping.
And, hey.
Send a raven.
Send a raven.
Send a raven.
I went and downloading a bunch of notification sounds. I'm like, oh, I have a crow. Halloween's up.
Yep.
Coming up.
Alright.
Alright, so.
A little bit more than half health. We're good.
I mean, you could say it like that, or you could say I'm 13 from being full.
I mean, I'll deal with that.
You're a lot less bloodied.
And then you can roll a d4 for a good berry.
My d4.
Thank you. But mine was hiding in the shadow.
Oh, yeah, fine. Eat.
I mean, it was 3 in a row.
Rouge. Alright.
Stuff check. Successful.
Thank you.
Just in case we do combat, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Then we can go find some gum for.
Actually, yeah, Jackal asked.
I would not suggest taking him into those caves.
Oh, that's right. It's inside the
You
game.
got any gum lying around there? It's been a while.
So
is this mask you made me like? Is it like a solid covering, or is it kind of like just almost like some of those like veil masks?
I kind of envisioned it as like pieces of bark held together by vines.
Enough for your eye to poke through.
Okay.
Like it's
It's
mostly
a really bad Frankenstein.
Phantom of the Opera,
But
but with
Mixed with
bark
bark.
and like vines. We can draw it out later if you want.
Quick sketch, go.
Oh Jesus.
So, what time of day is it?
Right now, sun's setting. There's fireflies in the air.
Fireflies.
Oddly enough, though,
They don't live down here.
birds are still chirping.
Would anyone like this last hot pocket
Yeah.
before I put the plate away?
Hot pocket.
The offering.
Hot pocket.
If we want more, there's still a whole
Dead
other
Druid.
Like, I'm drained right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just emotionally wrecked.
Yeah. Out of character, Jackal's got a lot to talk about and think through. Not all of it's happening right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So
He just like
Spend the night here.
stay here.
he looks
Can I
like
ask? Is it not? Don't hear any buzzing, birds chirping, insects buzzing.
Nope.
Can I ask? Vern, is that
No.
lack of noise usual?
Perception check for him. Huh. Well, that's a little weird.
Good to know. I'm wondering if it's
No one's seen that.
because
dragon, right?
something's around or if it's because of the spell that we just cast. I'm gonna send Wick up, see if he sees anything large.
Okay.
No one's seen that dragon flying around, right?
Who, the Watcher?
The Watcher.
The big black dragon. Call him what you want to call him.
Mr.
Probably
Freeman.
called the Watcher, eh?
He also goes by the Ebon Death.
Nice.
Ooh, that sounds like a black dragon. That sounds like him.
Huh.
Touched him, good luck.
Wick's perception is 14.
Okay. Nothing, just quiet still.
Just nothing. No trees moving, nothing.
Occasional.
Huh? It's yours, right?
Yeah.
You want it back?
I mean, I have shit for it. It's I made it as a prop for this character, yes. Last night.
Hey, he's asking in character.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
in character. Sorry.
No, it's good.
Did you ever clean it, by the way?
I wiped it off.
Okay, I was gonna say, because it would be great if, like, just for aesthetics' sake, if it still had
Maybe.
blood on it.
It probably still has blood on it.
Okay.
What's a lazy wipe?
Because we said it's not like a usable weapon dagger, right?
I mean, it'll do a point of
It-
damage to get the job
You
done.
can do,
Against an invalid? Yeah, no.
yeah. It's more of a,
You could have brought him back, stabbed him with it, and he would have been dead again.
Is this in character?
Like, no.
Look of petrification in his face.
Wow.
So it looks very ceremonial and not like it would be very.
the blade is made of obsidian. I did my best to recreate obsidian with paint. So,
Oh, you did good. Clean lines.
that
Not bad.
Is-
No, it's fine. Okay.
I
We're
was
taking
Is,
the sharp object away.
Yeah, I haven't pulled my dagger out.
mostly that was my promise
Smart.
to you.
We're only on.
If you want to keep it, you can. I don't advise it.
No? So you don't advise it then?
I didn't advise it because if anyone recognizes it, that might not be good.
What is this from?
Promise no more secrets.
I
You
know.
said no more secrets.
Lord
How
up, Lord
much-
up, Lord up.
How much do you know?
A lot of this hasn't registered, like what you guys have said. Like, I guess Jackal heard it, but not all of it's.
I'm presuming
sleeping
we're
right
like sitting around a campfire. It's nighttime and we're just
Yeah.
lore
Uh-huh.
dumping.
Yeah.
Bird's got a fire going.
How much do you know of Undair politics?
How much do I know about their politics?
On dare? Not much.
It's
Not
on
much.
there.
Or any of the North Corvair? A little bit, mostly Undair.
Sharn's my usual stopping ground.
Have you ever heard?
Most of my recent travel's been with you lot.
Have you ever heard of the Obsidian Blade?
Have I ever heard of you sitting?
History check.
I mean,
Do I have like hella disadvantage for being exhausted?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All your-
all your skill checks are at disadvantage. Cosmai, you can make it too.
yeah, when you raise
For
dead, it's
history?
negative
Yeah.
4 to all attacks.
I mean,
and-
you already had
I
this
already
part
have.
of this conversation.
So I
Still,
I mean,
Like,
we're
reroll.
doing exhaustion, not just
Here-
negative 4, right?
Here's the exhaustion.
For raise dead.
Thank you. I will take a look at
Negative
that
4
in a
exhaustion,
moment.
that's points each. He's
Yeah.
half speed,
Okay,
half on
it's-
skill, half on saving throws, half on attacks.
Yeah, so it's
It's disadvantage on everything right now.
because it's
History?
different in the original.
9 is
Doesn't
the
it?
number of the
Yeah.
day.
Never heard of it.
23.
You've heard rumors from the northern
I'm just so happy backstory.
side of Karnath random attacks from a smaller airship that were struck along the coastline.
Of airships.
From one single airship.
That attacked the shoreline.
That would attack people on the shoreline. Essentially hit and run thieves. Didn't tend to leave a lot of... It wouldn't, like, normal piracy and thievery, they don't kill anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But... It's not a good group to get associated with.
You called the Obsidian...
Blade.
Obsidian Blade. And... Okay, yeah.
Like.
So, no, you haven't heard it.
Cosmai's just gonna raise an eyebrow, but not say anything.
The one thing that I forgot to ask back when we originally had. No, because you told me. Wait, no. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
So I thought this was like
Oh,
a
my hit
one-on-one
point maximum is currently
conversation.
We're at the campfire.
So I'm only up
It's
to 26.
Okay, that's fine.
it's one of those things where Frosia would prefer it to be a one-on-one, but he's not going to keep secrets.
A aside to that out of character is I'll tell you later.
It.
No, I would like to hear this too. Just sitting there with a rhino beetle.
Because I feel like I, at this point, out of character, I pretty much owe everyone an explanation for what just happened.
Also, are there other lemur folk around, or is it just Vern?
Occasionally.
Okay.
They're keeping to their own business.
Okay. It's not like
the area that you in is considered like a holy ground.
Alright. Because when we were sleeping or taking a long rest with Vern and his people up in the trees, it was like everyone, but
Yep.
It was party
It
with
was
the
a party.
Ewoks.
it was a party. But this is like quiet.
Yeah, it's quiet time.
Okay, quiet time.
Mhm.
We in nap zone.
Uh-huh.
Got it.
The Obsidian Blade is a band of pirates that used to run the North Sea. It's not written on here, but I know the name of that sea.
The northernmost circle.
It's Lazar. No, the Principalities.
It's okay, keep going. I'll look it up.
Mostly traveled around the sea.
Good save.
It's not. I
It's
have
okay,
it on the
I got
map,
it, I
but
got
it's not
it.
on the map.
C, you got it.
And I start to undo the bandages, and I take them off of his arm.
The bitter thing?
Yes, the bitter sea.
There's you.
Mostly the bitter sea. And I take the bandages off, and right here on his shoulder, you see this as a tattoo.
Okay.
Also, at this point, as he's undoing and unraveling the shoulder stripes, you see this blue arcane sigils creating almost like a cloud-like structure around the tattoo.
So it's a glowing tattoo.
It's not glowing.
Okay.
They almost look like scars.
Okay.
Well, that part's new.
Would any of us recognize the blue thingy?
Arcana check.
Can I?
What part's
As
new?
Well,
Frosia. What part's new? Because all of this is new to us.
Yeah.
Like,
the cloudy filigree part. That's
Fuck, I don't know shit.
When you glance down at your arm, you notice that it's not glowing because you don't feel like its aura seems to be there, like it's not actively in use. But it kind of reminds you of the marks that you saw on that half-elf's neck, and like, earlier still with beyond his right hand, his left hand.
Well, that part's new. But the rest of it, the red and black, that's the symbol of the obsidian blade, and identifies me as being one of its members. I found them when I was very young, and I never really cared what we were doing. I just enjoyed the freedom that they offered me, and I helped them because at a young age I learned how to speak with the sky, if that makes sense. So I talk to birds.
Mm-hmm.
I can speak the language of the sky, and that's eventually how I found them, through a raven, and led me to them, and I got the nickname the Raven, White Raven. We traveled around and made a bit of a name for ourselves, and until we eventually got an airship. We found an airship, and the airship was powered by an air elemental. We were all very excited. However, they weren't able to hear it. To them, all they heard was moaning of a beast, but to me, I actually understood what it was saying, and I could hear its pain and its cries. And we never sat, we never landed, we were constantly moving, just always up in the sky, and never giving this creature a break who was powering the ship. And I couldn't sleep, because all I ever heard was its cries, its pain. Eventually drove me crazy. And eventually, when I said before that we had a fallen out, I was being literal. We had a fallen out of the sky. Because one day I couldn't take it anymore, and I set it free. Which meant that we immediately fell out of the sky. But during my time with them, I never had any direct hand in hurting people or anything, but I did help them. I was in charge of, I talked to the birds, and I used the birds to find places to hide, places to ambush and reconnaissance, essentially. So that's one area where I've been so reticent to tell you this, because of how we all reacted to Lilith, because in some ways her crimes are my crimes. We've both not had a straight hand in doing things, but we helped. But we, after I freed the elemental, the ship went down in the sea, and when I came to, I was on the shore, and there was no sign of the wreckage or no sign of any of the crew. So I thought they were all dead.
Anyway, guys, like, we've all got baggage, we've all got our fair share of sins, but you and Lilith aren't even in the same pay bracket. Like, don't even.
Don't insult yourself. I'm sure it's crap that you abandoned your crew, but you know.
You did it thinking you were doing the right thing. And
I wasn't thinking, that's the thing. They were the only family I ever had. And I killed them. I would try to go back to the only family I actually have to find them gone. In the rubble I found Wick, the original Wick. And we lived together until he died. And sent me to Sharn and found you. So you can see why I'm not too keen on having anyone else die around me.
And once again, I appreciate you going the extra mile. Bringing me back. So, this is... Thank you. And that can't be easy. I'd say some nice honeyed words, but I'm fresh out of them. But...
Fresh out of honey. Got some agave.
Thank you. Not even gonna argue. Yeah, so...
But that's my story. And that's why I keep the bandages on, in case anyone recognizes the mark.
Makes sense now.
Well, let's put them back on before we go back to the city.
Hey. Get Wick to help me.
Hopping over your shoulder as it just continues to catch.
As usual. Like this is our routine.
Here's that for you to look over later.
Plus that weird glowing stuff that we
Yeah, I'll
So
have to
we
figure
all
that out
learned
later.
something.
Whatever that may be.
I'm gonna go lie down somewhere. You see a Jackal like struggling to like stay upright.
Vern takes you over to a soft pile of leaves that's kind of on the ground.
Sorry, I'm looking at
Kaze.
Get on my bag of holding, boy.
He's like, can I ride in this? Nope.
Can I sit?
If I fit, I sits.
You did.
But he's too fat. He can't fit in a bag.
I will fits.
It's a bag of holding. Live things aren't supposed to go into the bag of holding.
Yeah, Jackal, thanks for just.
Conks the fuck out.
Yeah.
See my original idea off from what I now understand.
Yeah, I thought you had some kind of like oozing black wound or something that just
Oh
never
no.
stopped.
Here's the thing. My original idea when I saw the dagger was just like, so this
I was out for revenge.
thing. Yes, you were out for revenge.
That's what I thought you would think. Given our
I'm just like-
conversation.
And I'm just like, okay.
Conversation was like, he probably thinks I'm out searching for revenge.
Y'all get
I'm
some,
And then
very
I'm
much
just like-
not. I've been running away from it for the past 7 years.
y'all get some more?
Yeah,
Oh,
You
there
want a
you
shot?
are.
she's been doodling this whole time.
You want a shot? I have some.
Oh, good.
Go get
Okay.
We have the alcohols. So, right here.
Are you guys all sleeping or staying up?
What time is it?
Right
Like,
now,
late?
probably closer to 7 or 8. The moons are starting to shift, and you see Cyphros in a waning cycle as it's starting to fade. Next two are on the horizon. A world with 12 moons, how extra can you be?
Right?
So extra.
I mean, fabulous.
Cosmai's gonna stay up just for a little bit and just kind of think about.
Think.
Just debating about a lot of
Okay.
things. Also on the lookout for that figure from earlier.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
Just in case it's lingering around.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't go running away on
Well,
me.
I ain't going anywhere. Like
After
y'all
that's
would let
fine.
me. 18.
It's dark. Don't see him.
Sitting up.
Anybody staying up with
Thinking.
Cosmai?
No.
You're welcome
No,
to
you
try,
need to
Jackal.
No,
I'm gonna
Jackal.
get a mace to the face.
Jackal probably wants to have
Until
a
you're
one-on-
mashed potatoes.
Jackal probably
Like-
wants to have a one-on-one conversation with everyone at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But Jackal's getting his thoughts together, and Tyler's getting his as well.
Like,
Because I had ideas, but it's gonna be organic. So, but I got to make sure I keep track of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I have a long Word document I've actually been meaning to show you.
Sitting and thinking and occasionally glancing around to the rest of the crew.
like I would love to stay up with Cosmai.
But Alhu was exhausted.
No, he isn't.
Oh, okay.
It was a leading.
Okay, so you are.
It's the
That sounded like a request, not like I'm
Yeah.
going to.
It's
do
like
it.
I really,
No, like,
I would love
I
to,
would-
but I have a thing.
But I
I
have
w-
a thing, so I can't.
I would love
You
to
don't
do it.
sleep
The
anyway.
thi-
You're an elf.
Hitting
I
that
know.
maybe on the Facebook.
I know, I just
Live
meditate.
Being like,
That awkward turtle.
The thing that's going on right now is that I understand and don't understand mentalities. I've gone through a lot over these years.
I'll talk it out.
So it gets into the
Look, we're the two oldest members of this group.
we are.
Lead with a question. Are you okay?
Just
Yeah.
start
Even though
wherever
you know the
want.
answer.
Yeah, like
She's just gonna look at the crew, linger on Jackal for a while, and then just keep going. But like she's not moving. She's just
Detect
burning
good and
her
evil.
head.
Make sure he's not undead.
I haven't booked that spell yet. But ooh boy.
as soon as she has it.
Like every night, just be like, "Have you turned? Okay. Have you turned?"
Because I want to know what's going on through your head. I want to know.
Is this an in-character thing, or are you just kind of like, this is what I want to do, but I'm not entirely sure? Because you're not giving me...
It's in character.
It's an in character at this point. Because I'm going to stay up with you. Because this bitch needs to sleep. This bitch needs to sleep. After this conversation.
I imagine that they're both just like curled up next to each other. Like, don't leave me for no.
We're spooning.
Spooning.
It's
Vern's
fine.
like in a ball, like on
Aw.
his chest.
Aw. He can't
Okay,
really breathe
when-
because Vern's on his chest.
Are you big spoon or little spoon?
I'm out. You can curl up wherever you want, but
I'll be
I went. And also when Vern was like doing his like,
Uh-huh.
but he was a strong warrior. I was like, oh fuck. I didn't count on Lemur sad.
Right?
Sad.
He's supposed to make you happy.
Oh man.
Okay, the phone.
Because I thought I left a good impression with him, but it was
You
like,
did.
aw.
You
Very
gave him
good.
alcohol.
I did.
You give him a very good impression.
You gave him
Like,
a
here's the
drawn
thing.
straw of alcohol.
I couldn't do shit. The ones that did everything were them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. In the sense of I went through my emotional trauma without having to do
That.
shit. Because the only thing that I could have done after knowing how the spell works,
Mm-hmm.
I had already done. So as of right now, the only one that I believe should stay up, it's the two of us.
Okay.
And then it gets into the I see your expression. So I want to make sure, or I want to see.
Disappointed mom face.
Yes. I've seen that look many times from my own wife. So I want to know what's going on through your head.
Well, I'm disappointed in you all for bringing him back. I'm a little upset that he is back, and not in the way that you're all thinking.
What do you mean?
I'm assuming that you guys wanted him back because he was a good friend, he fought well, he opened up chests that you guys couldn't open. And I'm gonna glance over at the chest that Frosia has, like, on his backpack.
Literally.
Like,
I was gonna ask him to do it later when he's had some rest.
so...
He has a +1 pick now. It's cool.
Do I no, finish your thing. I'll give it to you.
So, I'm just more upset that y'all seem to have brought him back for whatever you guys want instead of why he wanted to come back. Because I think if he wanted to come back, or if he had unfinished business, he would have stayed alive, and he wouldn't have put himself into that trouble in the first place.
But you also have to take into consideration that there are the people that, because they have unfinished business, because they are trying to protect the people that would help them with their unfinished business, that they would put their life on the line, even if it may cost them to pass. They would still have unfinished business. They would still have things they need to do.
Yeah, but we were at that bar not for his sake. We were there for someone else's sake. He essentially lost his life for one of us, and for whatever our bullshit reasons may be. Jackal said many times that he had other things to do. He didn't need to be in that bar with us.
I never said he needed to.
He didn't need to be where he needed to be at that moment. He could have gone off and done what he needed to do with him and Selune. They were with us because why not? It wasn't his idea to plant that bean. It wasn't anything for anything to happen after that bean. Granted, it's all luck, whatever the gods wanted, but clearly they wanted him dead at one point, be it then or later on, but you all seem to have wanted to bring him back for your own reasons. The dead should never come back.
Okay.
The dead need to stay dead. Granted, with whatever time and life and chance it may be later on, we all will die, but be it by fate, whatever the gods want, luck, terrible luck for that matter, but it's going to happen. And if it does happen to me, don't ever bring me back.
And that I understand, and I will keep my word.
Thank you.
As of right now, there's a lot of things going on. As of right now, based on what I understand, based on what I know, if he wouldn't have wanted to come back, he would not be here.
That's his choice. Whatever afterlife may be. And I respect that. And I respect your decisions. But I also don't think you should have come back. And so now, I have to deal with working alongside someone who shouldn't be here. And wonder if anything should go wrong at any point. Because if any of you who are still here, who haven't died yet, die because of him, is it my responsibility to put him down after that or not? Or will I feel the regret for allowing you guys to bring him back?
When you say allow, that's not. You should not be thinking that you allowed us.
I had the bag with the diamonds. I could have walked off with them, and then you guys wouldn't have had the components to bring him back. I allowed you guys to bring him back because you were kind enough and most thoughtful. I don't want to say that I'm the reason he's back, but I did allow that to happen.
I know you.
I could have just given you the diamonds and then walked away myself, and then never seen you guys ever again. But I decided to come just to see how this played out, and then to protect you if anything should happen. So now I'm worried, and I always will be.
I mean, as of right now, the only thing I can tell you, because I know that anything I say, it's not going to cause much difference at this point. Let's see how the cards fall.
Fair.
As of right now, if anything happens, we'll have someone there watching.
And I'll be here.
Being you. And a hug.
Thank you.
That way you don't have to face this entire thing yourself.
I appreciate it.
I know the struggle of going through life, facing everything by yourself.
You've lived a long life, oh. I understand.
I don't need you fixing that too. But yeah, I'm good there right now.
Get some tissues.
It's right here. We have a whole box for you guys.
Pew, 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 pew.
It's fine. It's fine.
Look.
D&D is cathartic, man. Let's take a prom motion. Alright. So saying your piece, you guys settle down for rest. Morning rises. It's not terribly cold here on the coast. You feel a warm breeze rolling in through the forest. It's peaceful.
Are there animals going now? Birds chirping?
No.
Insects? Nothing?
Insects, yes. No birds.
Still quiet.
Am I still level 4 exhausted, or do I lose 1 point per long rest?
Make me...
I think it's 1 point per long rest.
I don't think you have to roll a Constitution saving throw on it because you are actively trying to sleep, so you'd be up to -3. One point falls off.
So
for
finishing a long
for
rest
long
reduces a creature's exhaustion level by 1.
Yep.
But, yeah.
So -3. It's fun times.
I like my conversation, even though it might be crazy.
It's okay.
That's what I'm here for.
We got more ice cream.
We do have more ice cream. And we got cake.
Okay, so currently, all my checks are disadvantaged, and I move at half speed.
You're really rough, bud.
Yeah.
We'll take it back slow.
Do I wake up and you're like spooning me?
Yes.
Yes. And Vern is
And
on
Vern
your
is on top of
chest.
Fall back asleep.
Snooze.
Press the
Like
lever.
Selune is like on the other side, like not touching, but like right there,
Just in case of anything.
So like my cat, close but never touching.
Yes. I know your cat, so yes.
Yeah.
Cosmai's like on the other
You
side.
guys start to
Ooh.
come to. Some of the Kagawani have brought you dried roots and fruit.
Thank you.
Meager means of meals. They also bring out some different types of criticrollies, crickets, things with high protein. It might take a little bit for you guys to stomach.
That's quite a bit for me.
Crickets and beetles.
Tastes better.
Like there's
Slimy yet satisfying.
there's a lot of hesitation. But
Jackal-
if I'm correct, there's a spell that I could use to make it taste better. Can't
How do
remember
you
which one.
purify?
Jackal looks at it, kind of like with recognition. It's like, it's been a while. Just takes a big chomp out of the biggest beetle. picks off like the really bad legs.
Mm-hmm.
He's done this before.
Oh no! See, if you fry these up with some butter and a little bit of garlic, oh, it's amazing.
With prestidigitation, I can flavor up food.
Okay.
As you
There
can.
you go.
Oh
Makes
yeah,
it a little bit
yeah.
more bearable.
A little bit of
Germaphobe
paprika.
I can bear this.
A little bit of allspice, you know.
I mean, if you really want.
Let's get some adobo on this thing.
Called you a wizard of
Okay,
I mean,
so
thank
since
you.
I hadn't
Thank
technically,
you.
I'd be waking up and I'd be repicking my spells. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna let us all suffer. I'm just kidding.
It would be. I'm not gonna lie. It would be hilarious.
Oh no, I was just gonna let us all suffer with some stuff. I could have, but nah.
I can make all the fart jokes.
saltiness. It's saltiness from
Jackal.
last night. We all suffer.
Who here's roomed with Jackal? Like, I think you have. It's either been like, I feel like it's been either like me and you or me and Selune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly you and Selune.
But it's mostly been private. So you see Jackal when he gets up and does his morning routine. It's a lot of stretches. But he's like,
Very sore.
yeah, like trying, not like trying to like minimize it. Like anytime like, he like vocalizes, or like fuck, like he tries to squelch it. Just,
Mm-hmm.
Try up for this.
Doing your best in your warrior poses and real stiff, bro.
pulls a dagger, tries to like twirl it, takes a point of damage.
In my morning meditations, I'm gonna focus on this and be like, huh.
Huh.
Hey, Jackal, wanna say something funny?
Yeah, sure.
And I bend over and pretend to fart and just cast Gust.
I'm done with you.
And I aim it at Ahu. So it blows his robe and he has like Beyonce hair going.
Appreciate it.
Jackal like laughs and is like clutching his chest. Oh, God. Worth it.
I'm glad you didn't have dust as a cantrip until now. That would have been useless. It's fine.
I'm going to attack him. I cast Gust.
You can help
Finally, a
blow out
worthwhile
all
use for
100
magic.
something. You can
Fart
use
jokes.
that
Thank you.
to help out who'll blow out all 100 something of his candles in one blow.
I mean,
You're saying
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If it's that, I can just prestidigitate it.
every single one.
No, you would just go.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom.
But that
I love
sounds
these Kung Fu
fun.
Panda references.
That sounds.
So what was I on top of when I came back? Like,
A tree stump.
a tree stump?
It was essentially a giant
Makeshift
oak
pyre.
that had been cut clean, and there was another sapling growing from that. And then there was a statue, essentially of a black dragon that was facing the opposite direction. Its head had gotten chopped off, and the lemur folk had made a makeshift head going the opposite direction. And it was made out of an elk skull and different bones of different animals and seashells and nature, and essentially a altar to Balinor, one of the sovereign hosts.
Is Vernon around?
Hey!
Hey, buddy. Would you say that tree stump is like super duper important and shouldn't be messed with?
That's all.
Kind of want to get some wood from nearby just to make a new mask. So I don't want to like go like carving into something that's really important.
He takes the rhino beetle that he's munching on, like, sticks it in his mouth, and scurries over to part of the altar, and with his hands, it just, let's see how strong he is. Okay, 16. 3 fingers dig into the rock, he pulls a part of the bark off, and scurries back and hands it to you.
Does it look-
Velcro.
It's Velcro.
It's okay.
Does it look big enough for...
Decent. Decent chunk.
Thanks, buddy. Inspect it. Does it look like high quality? Like it's not gonna like crumble? Do I need to roll? No.
There you go.
So we tuck it away.
Mhm.
Realize we're not really doing anything active right now. Just realize how exhausted I am.
And then while everyone's eating and just chilling, I'm gonna cast Detect Good and Evil.
Okay.
It's concentration for up to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Just need to know if there's any abjuration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of me.
You sense a little bit of divine energy coming from Jackal's presence. And you also sense a infernal aura coming from his bag.
Infernal?
From his back.
Bag.
B-A-G.
Bag.
Bag.
Bag. Oh, okay.
My bag? Interesting.
But nothing other than that as far as Fey Fiend. Well, Fiend.
What did I put in my backpack?
Elemental, fey, fiend, undead, abjuration, celestial. That's
Not undead.
Divine senses like lingering necrotic energy from him, it's just from being on the plane of Taldore. You don't know this until she tells you.
No, that's fair. No. I was honestly just trying to say, did I put anything really fucky in my bag recently?
What was it? It was just undead, or no? It was fey,
Infernal.
Infernal.
infernal,
Fiendish.
In
fiendish.
general, celestial aura probably from them being fresh off the
Yeah.
resurrection spell.
Mm-hmm.
It's faint.
But it's holy.
So I guess after Vern gives me the thing, it's like, okay, buddy, so what do I owe you?
I mean... And at that point, there's a voice from above you. You don't owe him anything. I'll take your payment.
Does anyone else hear that, or is it just him?
It's everyone.
Huh? Oh. Huh?
On top of the wall above you,
Oh, man.
you see a humanoid figure,
Clothes.
6.5 foot tall. Looks like an orc.
Fuck.
But he's got 2 larger horns coming out of his forehead, 2 large tusks, a bit of a chiseled beard that is wrapped in braids and dreadlocks. And he's just peering down at all of you, almost like a gargoyle on a wall.
Familiar sense?
No? Not fiendish or elemental, anything like that.
Does he look like the figure I saw last night?
The cloak looks familiar, yeah.
Does any of that look familiar to me?
Nope.
Okay.
Does he have
At his voice, Vern like tucks and like hides behind Jackal.
the voice? Is it the
Like
same?
he freezes and then hides.
No, but does it sound similar to Mr. Scaly's voice that we heard before?
The dragon's voice?
Make an intelligence roll.
I will assist. If I
How?
can. In also trying to figure out if it sounds familiar.
I mean, you don't know Draconic, so all you heard was roaring.
Oh, that's fair.
He's speaking in common
He was,
now.
yeah, okay. Okay, never
Okay.
He's speaking in common.
No,
It'll just be you and
like,
Selune.
you scared me for a second there. And you said a what roll?
Intelligence. See if you can remember what happened 3 weeks ago.
It's been a while.
Does this voice from 3 weeks ago over the din of fighting sound familiar?
So
I mean, it was a 12. I
Sounds
don't.
a lot worse.
Jackal is like reaching for a dagger, realizes the one he grabbed is empty, and is just positioning his hand for another one while slowly looking up.
And am I near him? Near Jackal? I imagine, since we...
I'm assuming like
We're
the
about-
clearing that you guys are in are all about like a 20 by 20 space.
If I'm like next
He's
to him, I'm just
perched
gonna stay his hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not pulling anything. I'm just trying
Hey.
to
Get ready.
Yeah.
Don't
Jackal's freaking the fuck out.
Don't
man.
be aggressive. Don't be
Let's
aggressive.
Not be aggressive.
It'll only make it worse.
How do I owe you payment instead of him?
You took something of mine.
And you are... Because Jackal hasn't connected these fucking dots. I know.
Voragon.
Does that name ring a bell?
Nope.
To anyone?
No.
I'm the last of the gatekeepers, the Ebb and Death.
That name rings a bell.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit.
I recognize your scent. It's hard to It's hard to
Miss.
mask it on a corpse.
Fresh off that boat.
So it's Voragon?
Voragon.
Vorgon.
Jackal. What did you take?
I'm smart enough to know that a lie is gonna get me nowhere.
At this point.
So, y'all remember that mask?
Yeah, the.
Words are hard right now. I'm eyeballing his face.
Oh, you're
just-
exhausted. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I'm eyeballing his face as I talk, just looking for any kind of like reactions as I'm speaking.
No, but he's glowering at you.
You remember that mask that ended up in Darman's museum?
That
Yeah, you remember that?
came from him.
It came from a cave here. Shit. In character.
Just gonna glance to Ahul. And then I'm gonna look back at this.
This was before this.
And then I'm gonna look back up at Voragon.
Well,
Voragon. And just stare.
about that. So, I knew where it was, and it got stolen from them, so it's in high demand, apparently. And if I knew where it was, I'd be happy to tell you. But I don't.
There's like this low, simmering growl from his direction.
Shit.
He was, because you heard voices. We believe he was coerced through magical means to steal it from you in the first place.
Yeah, something.
And whoever did that now has it, and we're actually after them, to try and get it back. To return to you.
Make a deception check.
Guidance.
You said to return to you.
Hey, I have no problem returning it to him.
Deception or persuasion, whatever you like.
I want to roll, but I know I'm at disadvantage, and fat one ain't gonna help anything right now.
12.
Okay.
That's why I'm
I am
being,
not
like,
charismatic,
tired,
y'all.
honestly. Can I chime in? Like, he does speak true. Something about that mask was calling to me, so I couldn't help myself.
The mask is inert of power. How could it call when it doesn't have magical essence?
And maybe it wasn't the mask calling me, but something said, hey. I just felt compelled to get that mask. And it was something about it was telling me to get it. And hell, when we went to Darman's, something about it was saying it should end up with him.
I think it was alarm. Just
You come here reeking of Kyber. Now.
Reeking of a lot.
he hasn't bathed in a couple days.
You guys aren't helping the situation.
Spar's over here like, this motherfucker is gonna die again.
If you died this time.
Come back over to the dead.
Come back over!
Come back to the Dead Road Guild.
Society is gonna number 2.
I'm gonna get you a punch card at this point.
Freaking fly.
Like,
You come back You come back here reeking of Kyber. And now that you have wronged me, you make excuses as it would lessen your sins in any way or form.
Listen. Whoever has the mask now, we definitely don't want them to hold on to it. So, we're hoping to run into them again and hopefully get the mask back. And if it means we don't turn into a pile of dust right here, we'll definitely make sure it gets back to you.
In our efforts to retrieve the mask, we were set upon by a horned devil. And the horned devil took his life. We came back here to bring him back to restart that quest.
How does this benefit me?
They have one more person back on the trail.
You see, like, these two yellow eyes just peer between each of you.
Love you. I
I
got
I
mad
know.
respect for your grandma.
mean, technically, yes.
I am now currently wearing a mask made out of those roots. Fuck. I guess Jackal will pipe up. Like, listen, you said I owe you payment. If that's what the deal needs to be, then so be it. But if you had a hand in bringing me back, why even bother if you're just going to put me back in the ground?
I have a better task at hand. I've learned that my mate is no longer of this material plane. Her location was in the Shadow Marches. If you can return what belonged to us, I will see this payment fulfilled. If not, I'll take your corpse here.
Or not do that one. I don't like that option.
What are we looking for? You said something was taken. Return what was belonged to you.
But between the both of them.
Okay, yeah, so he's not asking for her for us to go revive a dragon. Something that they both own, probably an egg.
Don't know for sure. Will we know? When
What
we
would
see
two
it?
dragons own together?
I mean,
A
add
mask,
that too.
maybe.
Will we know
I
it
doubt
when we
it.
see
What are we
it?
looking for?
3 eggs.
3 eggs?
Great, another round delicate thing for us to transport.
There must always be a watcher within Yarkandral. I cannot do this myself.
So your mate was separated from you, whipped separate from you in the Shadow Marches, and that's where she laid her eggs, and now she's...
I've spoken with the mother. She's no longer of this life.
My condolences. What they're worth.
I can always run you down here for sport.
Yeah, we'd really rather not. I think we're all I think we're all kind of in the same page. Like, yeah, if we're gonna walk away from this, we need to agree with this.
Well, not just because saving our own hide, but I also... This needs to happen. There, like he said, there needs to be a gatekeeper.
Oh, yes.
Here. Where there's a portal.
Do you know what killed your mate?
Shakes his head.
How long has it been?
My recollection. 2 weeks, maybe more.
You were in a different dimension 2 weeks ago. We were in dimensional Disneyland Ratatouille.
That's right.
Oh,
Disney
fuck
World.
that noise. Oh, the glitter.
Lots of glitter.
Never played glitter before. Anyway.
I'm trying to put together a timeline in my head.
Yeah, that's one of the
Shadow
Do
Marches.
we have a time limit?
Am I familiar with Shadow Marches at all?
That's
Like
what they
just
did.
from hearsay?
Shadow Marches is the country that is, west of Drum, west of Breland.
Yeah.
It's mostly dominated by half orcs and orcs.
Okay.
So languages we don't know.
There
Hi.
was, she knows what.
Yay!
There was,
We have a guide.
Thaddy was saying she was having troubles on the trade routes from Drome.
Maybe we can take care of that while we're there.
It's possibly related.
Well,
I mean, trade routes here were related.
Go figure.
Do we
That's
have
a big
time
place,
limit?
though.
30 days.
30 days. God damn it. Do you have anywhere more specific than Shadow Marches?
Her den was in Balinor's Shadow, a large watery forest to the south.
That's pretty specific. Thank you. This is all in character, by the way.
At that point, I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Lovely. That's a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Can't help it.
Did I have two? Oh, they're both 9s. Never mind.
Okay.
So with my amazing, absolutely outstanding Constitution of I forget. I get +2. That's 11.
Okay. And you feel this pulse of energy come from your chest as you feel what should have been like the stab wound, like a black mark starts to spread and vine across you. It doesn't hurt, but like definitely wasn't there 2 seconds ago.
This is coming
And-
from the stab wound.
Yeah. You see Vargon's face just grin as like these tusks are protruding through his face. There's like an extra incentive in case you don't return to me. You're now cursed with acid vulnerability.
Great.
Oh,
Damn it.
Does
Why?
he say that, or does he just
Why?
say?
No, just telling you in game.
So
I mean-
all I know is some weird mark, and I feel like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
like
It's not gonna hurt you, but you have acid
But
vulnerability.
I also
now.
don't know that I should stay away from acid.
Yes.
Okay.
like
I am telling you this.
I might be able to figure out later in character
It's a very high level
through
spell.
identify or medicine.
like in my
So
head, I'm
what,
just
is it-
like,
He's gonna kill me in 30 days.
It can track you down.
Oh boy.
It's been a while since I've been on a hunt.
oh boy.
Just in case you don't return the thief.
Sexy. Not in character.
I kind of imagine him with a Sean Connery voice. You're right.
Not in character, but sexy.
Either that or like Snape.
I'm not gonna lie, I got into
Yeah.
Lost
into the
everything.
mentality of
Gone.
I just bought a ring. Of my grandchild.
You shipped it off. Didn't
On the
you?
same, I still
Did you
have,
get 2 yet?
I still have
Yeah.
the ring with me.
Acid weakness.
Mm-hmm.
So you take double damage. So don't go into the ruins.
He gonna maul his fucking ass. No bones, no nothing.
That's how the dragon do.
That's why there were a lot of pools. And acid sucks.
It's fucking acid.
It's just fancy acid tablets, man.
I never like sour shit anyway.
I mean, you like salty.
Well, that's gonna be a thing. Okay, so
No, I actually love sour, but I guess not anymore. Could you imagine?
so we should get on that.
Yeah. How far
Like-
is it to Shadow Marches again? Someone jog my memory.
Well, it's 3 days back to Sharn,
And then probably catch a train.
and then Shadow Marches. I don't know if there's
Probably
a
not,
train
so
that
we figure
goes.
this out.
There's probably not a train that goes to Shadow March. No, the train goes close to Shadow Marshes, but not into it. It gets to the border between Drome and Shadow March. If I'm looking at my
I mean, I
fine.
can tell you.
correctly.
How big are these eggs? I've never seen a dragon egg.
Where do you?
Make an Arcana check.
Shadow mark?
Kinda.
Yeah.
I see it. I can't. It's too small. I think I can't see it.
No clue.
There's also a vocal question to him and Nuno.
E.
Going over here.
They're figuring out the map.
These are the things,
How
right?
how
It goes
large are
there.
the eggs? Can I ask him?
That's the closest it goes.
How big are the eggs?
Somewhere over here.
Yeah,
Compared
because
to me.
here it's
Compared to
the-
you, torso.
So we're talking like big ass eggs. We gotta get.
something like-
That helps.
Yeah, thanks for the warning. It probably can't go in the bag of holding.
No. I wouldn't put a live egg into the bag.
That's why I'm saying, thinking out loud. Listen, I've had a really rough day.
My condolences.
And it's like 9 a.m.
My condolences.
Look,
So I don't owe Vern because
Vern's nice.
when he said I owe you for not burning me alive right here, basically. But you didn't have a hand in bringing me back.
Or melting you, but yeah.
Just clarifying.
Why was your mate so far from here?
We tend to keep different territories.
They're dragons.
And so we bring these eggs back intact, and this goes away, and we're good.
Yes.
I swear. I'm not gonna have you hunt me down for the mask.
As long as you don't harm me again. As long as you don't slight me again.
Okay. Works for me.
Smile and nod. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, nothing. So does this just look like this icky web of like veins, or is it a mark?
It's an icky web of veins. It's kind of centralizing around the same stab wound. It doesn't hurt, but it looks nasty.
Okay.
Well, let's get on the road.
Just because I have to ask, and we're gonna go for it. We're gonna do our best. What if we get there and they're already harmed in some way? I realize that's not a good thing, and we don't want that to happen. But am I fucked anyway?
You don't want me to answer that question.
Fair enough.
That's a yes.
Alright.
Why don't you go?
Because,
The Watcher must always be here.
but he's willing to put that vow aside to hunt me down, it seems like.
That's why I'm wondering.
Well, you know, vendettas are a different thing.
I mean, I'm not gonna say shit.
Make a intelligence roll.
Dragons.
Right? Dragon.
Intelligence?
Uh-huh.
Just straight intelligence?
Unless you're trained in Arcana.
I am not.
I'm just gonna roleplay like this just
I
feels
mean-
icky and gross and horrible, like a little
10.
stomach ache right
Okay.
now.
Arcana?
Yeah,
Ja-
you
Jackal's
would
like-
know, but she's asking.
Jackal's like on a knee at this point.
You're like consulting your maps.
You're like, how the fuck do we get there?
Pulled out timetables.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That's exactly what I'm
That's
doing.
what's going on
Yes,
over on that
I'm
icon.
aware.
Like, that's exactly what's going on right
Where?
now. Like, I will show you.
Just the general basis. You know that chromatic dragons are on the tenets of evil side.
You crazy son of a bitch, you did it.
I took part in building this train. I should know this.
That's so good. That's so good.
So the
I'm
fact
sure.
that when somebody slights you in such a way such as this, I'm gonna hold a little bit of a grudge. Just a skosh.
This is not gonna help my Cosmai points.
Oh, you were so far in the negative with Cosmai points.
Oh no, like, I tried.
You were so far in the negative.
This is not good. But this was beforehand.
This is not helping.
I know it isn't. Like, you gave me the stare and I understood.
At least that space.
Thank you.
There's always space.
Right next
There's
to the
no
console.
helping this.
It's one of those if he catches this one in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Abe, I'm calling.
Fine. Alright.
Okay.
The Great Crag.
My next question to you is, is your vendetta just against him, or do the rest of us also have to come back?
The Great Crag.
Now that you've seen us all.
I don't think I have drones.
take
That's
fright?
my-
Did
no,
you
that's
take
Where it goes is the Great Crag.
anything from my
See,
board?
that's what I
I
thought.
did not.
Nope, it was
No.
all me.
And I don't have.
Because
Okay.
you say that in character.
Yep.
My bad!
Yeah,
That
I don't
was-
have that one.
That was me.
The only one
Okay.
that goes.
These guys are clean. I got an earful from them. I guess I'm due for an earful from you.
Or
I didn't
Grey
know until
Wall?
we were gone.
Grey Wall.
And you were really pissed off fighting that
I don't
turtle,
have
so none of us
drones.
wanted to
That's
go
the thing,
back.
looking at the different.
It's kind
I'm
of
not
bears his
seeing
tusks at you.
This is me trying to cover for y'all. This is me trying to help. It's like, no, that's on me.
Fair enough.
All the negatives and
I don't
exhaustions
have
in
drones.
tow.
I'm just annoying.
I do not feel good.
You really don't.
Okay.
I'm.
But it, then you want a souvenir too?
A souvenir. How do you mean?
Never mind. It was a joke.
Sam behind you is so great. Like, I just feel like I'm getting two sides of like a coin. Back or all three?
We need to bring all three
All
back.
three back.
All three?
All three.
Okay.
And if
That's why I
any of
asked
them
how
are
big they were.
damaged, you're fucked.
How big
well,
are
he's
they?
fucked.
I'm
Not
guessing,
you guys.
like-
He is.
Or so.
I mean, I'm not gonna
But you
say
heard
that.
Jackal try to cover for y'all, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This is all me.
Okay, so all three have to come back in in good condition.
As good
Not
as
all.
good as we found them.
I mean, I'm not gonna say anything wrong. It's best that there is a guardian here at all times.
So we,
all three back. Got it.
we find these eggs and we bring them back here, or somewhere else within this area.
It was a little difficult getting here as humans.
Yeah.
So
We could.
if there's an easier
And that's my problem.
It'll be easier.
If
It'd be
there's
easier
a-
to
There
get
it
into the
is.
inlet below his cave.
where we walked out from the Chicagoan camp.
Uh huh.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the back door.
So that little
It'd be easier to get through the back door.
That little cove.
Yeah,
Yes.
Now that it's not crawling
A little
with
hard to close it.
we have a boat.
We have a folding boat.
It's a one use.
It's a one use.
I'm sure we can rent one.
I pull out my guiding light lock. Like I know a guy who can get us a boat.
True. But we have to get there first and get a boat from there to here.
No one in the Dark Lanterns that has a connection to a boat.
The
Probably.
guy who you spoke to, old Frank, had like a fishing boat. Probably not meant for high seas.
You might know somebody.
You guys do know one person. What'd you guys do the first session?
Oh, this is outside.
I'm making you remember shit from
This
a
is
year
his
ago.
old school.
That's
This is
No.
pre-Jackal,
His
pre-lanterns,
We know a
pre-Selune.
dude from what?
First session.
First session. The
Oh,
captain
yeah.
of the boat.
Captain. It was a two-name name.
Two name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 3 eggs on the beach within 30 days.
Hector von Cross.
Got it.
He was the captain of the ship Voyager.
How dare you, DM, bring this back?
It's all coming for a circle. It's fine.
Alright.
We'll work it out.
But he's
Actually,
probably in Charn.
No, there's no
Probably docks and
lightning
shine.
rail connecting to Drome.
No.
That's why I came back. See,
Yeah.
I knew there was
No,
something
the only
going
one
on.
that goes to the closest that goes to Drome.
Since you are part of the house, I'll tell you why, at least the ramifications, why there aren't lightning rails through Drone. Drome is not considered a actual
A nation.
nation. The humanoids don't like doing business with Drome because they are made of monstrous races. Gnolls, goblins,
What about that?
Medusas, minotaurs. It's more like a conglomerate of war chiefs, not necessarily a country.
Yeah.
And they are trying to pass themselves as off as one, but none of the other nations have ratified them as such.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my head, I was just like, I know there was a reason. I can't find it anywhere, and I know there's a reason. I can't remember.
Oh, what? What significance it held?
No, because I'm just like trying to get from the lightning rail to where we need to go.
No shadow verses?
The fastest way. So I'm just like, I can't remember why I can't go there.
Mm-hmm.
So many
Politics.
Gross.
We'll
In my role playing game, no.
How dare I?
It's one of the many things you're not supposed to.
Okay, so we'll get right on that. Time to go. Let's go back to the carriage.
It's like as you're saying that, like Vern just like yes, and is just like bowing his head multiple times as you guys are leaving the area.
Yeah, just all the respect. Averting my eyes, oh lord.
I bow, but I can't really bend right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll be back.
I'm tempted not to like hit the knees out from under. You're lucky you're.
Both Selune and I are just nodding and then walking.
Oh, yeah.
away.
Yeah, I agree.
Selune has that knowing sense of disappointment and a what did you do on her face.
I'm very familiar with it. I'm not making eye contact.
I'm glad you're back. The fuck did you do?
Yeah.
You guys leave the clearing, take one last look
No.
backwards to where the figure was on the fall. Gone.
What a cool dude.
Fuck. Can I I'm gonna attempt to shapeshift around this and no matter what color combination or features, is it still there?
It's still there.
Fuck.
You really hate magic.
When we get into the carriage, I'll take a look at you.
Thank you.
I'm just stunned.
Yeah.
One thing after another.
Not making eye contact with anybody.
These fucking idiots.
Help him along. Actually, you know what? I'm since you're at half speed, I'm gonna tell you to sit cross-legged on this little floating disc. And I'm gonna take 10 minutes and cast Tensor's floating disc, and you're just gonna be trailing behind us 20 feet.
Can I eyeball it and say,
That stays up every 10 minutes or every hour?
It lasts an hour, I believe.
Okay, you're right.
your expressions are priceless.
Floating along, dragging Jackal along like a balloon.
That
Did
sounds
we
about right.